What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here with an emergency podcast to talk about what seems in a vacuum to not be a huge move, but I believe is a very important move for the perimeter of baseball this year. We all know what it is. Joe Musgrove has been traded to the Padres. The third trade they've made this offseason, the fourth one they've made in the last year to upgrade that pitching staff. Right now, that pitching staff is looking like Snell, Darvish, Musgrove. I know this, Adam. Chris Paddock and Lamet, along with two other young prospects that they have. I'm not sure exactly what their names are, but Padres do have multiple good young pitchers that are readily available. So let's talk about what this means. Because like I said, Musgrove is obviously a very good pitcher who ups any team. But in a vacuum, it doesn't seem that crazy. But I believe it does have really big parameters. For one, Padres have a super rotation now. They already not like they didn't already have one, but they just own another good young pitcher. I'm not sure what his control is, but I know for like most, at least 80% of the rotation, they're under control for about 3 more years. Specifically, I know Snell has 3 years, and then the young guys. Now, in the vacuum, Musgrove is a very solid pitcher, has been ever since he's been in the league. Very solid, except for one year with the Astros, but really kind of had an especially good season last year with a 3.86 ERA. Has really good stuff. I could see him really improving. 55 strikeouts in 40 innings last year. So the stuff is clearly there. I expect him to even improve more, honestly, this year in the full season. But now we see with the Padres, this is a team that realizes a few things. Number one, you can't really get through a season anymore just hoping on 5 pitchers. They know you need 7. Now with this, they have 5 solidified guys in the rotation and a couple more ready down in the minors. I wish with all my heart Clevenger was going to be healthy this year because, man, this rotation would be just I shouldn't say unlike anything we've ever seen before, but you get the point. But yeah, luckily the Padres understand it takes 7 really in the rotation. That's really what it is. It's not 5 anymore. It's more like 7 to 8 if you're still lucky. Another thing they notice, they know what it takes to win. This is a team that hasn't done a lot of winning in the past few years. They know what it takes, though. They know you need as many good players as you can possibly get, especially if you're going to get those players without giving up huge players from your active roster, and that's what they're doing. So, man, to assemble all these guys and not really take from your core group of players, it's just kind of incredible if you think about it for the Padres. This team is in a great. They were about neck and neck with me with the Dodgers. Now I think they're a little bit ahead. They both have, especially now that the Dodgers still don't have a third baseman at the moment. We saw them in on LeMahieu, but that didn't pan out. Another rumor came out that we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, right now, I've been saying this all offseason, the top 4 teams are all from the NL. Right now, I think I got Padres, Dodgers, Braves, and Mets. And Mets apparently are close to signing Springer, but that's between the Mets and the Blue Jays, but apparently the GM had some issues with, I'll say, naughty pictures, so we don't know if that will halt any delay of that, but if the Mets also do find a way to bring Springer in, man, these 4 teams are just going to be absolutely insane. But I think that's part of the reason the Padres might have made this extra move as well. They realize how good the NL is going to be, specifically their competition in the West, the Dodgers. So any extra arms certainly would help. Let me see for a second. So I don't believe Tatis has signed that extension yet, if I'm correct. But I have to imagine that could be coming at some point soon. Yeah, so far it's only been interest. I was worried I missed something and maybe didn't see it happen, but anyway. So in a vacuum, like I've been saying, this does not seem like the most crazy move. Joe Musgrove is a very good, not like organization-changing pitcher, but when you look at it from the it's like when I was talking the other day about DJ and Kluber. In a vacuum, they're very good moves, but you gotta look in depth sometimes to see how great the fit is. This is a move where he is going to be an incredible 4 or 5 starter, arguably the best in baseball. And another thing I should mention actually is the Mets actually did find a way to improve in this trade. Actually, they actually got who was his name? They got Joey Luciani, I believe. Now, I've been saying David Peterson should be their starter before this. A lot of people say with this move, Matz is kicked out. I think Matz is horrible. But now they're throwing possibly Peterson in that bullpen as well, who I think is very solid. That bullpen takes a step up. And Joey Luciani is a good young pitcher who I expect will have a good season with the Mets. And, yeah, honestly, could be in the mix for one of the better 5 starters too in baseball. It's kind of interesting to me how the Padres made this move where they give up that pitcher, even though they get Musgrove. I may not have seen all details. I'm kind of recording this without much notice, honestly, but I think they're just looking for a guy that they believe can build forward, and they really do believe in, and it's more of like a veteran, which makes sense. So, yeah, great move for the Padres. I'm really glad to see this team really going for it. Same with the Mets. They did improve here. I really hope they sign Springer. Man, it's almost just like AL does not really compare with the NL right now. As crazy as that seems, I feel like the AL has always been much better, but that's beyond this point. Padres, another step for them. Same with the Mets. Man, it's going to be tough in any playoff series to beat that rotation. And then also in the playoffs, Musgrove, I'm sure, is a guy who can go into the bullpen and give you innings there, since you don't need all 5 starters. So this kind of reminds me of like a 2-for-1 move where it improves your rotation for the regular season, but also your bullpen potentially for the playoffs. So definitely a great move for the Padres. Glad to see this team really going for it. That's all I got on this. Yeah, just a great move.